This is part 3 again. The book is The Jedi Path, Star Wars. My true colors are white, yellow, in its various forms, and light blue. Okay, left is the side of the heart. I prefer the right. I am right-handed. My eyes are the sun and the moon, and I follow Har-Ware, Horus the Elder, Haru the Great One, son of Ra. I am above the game of life and all roles. In terms of a play, I am adverse to the Babylonian and Greco-Roman system. I believe in the true system, the true way. With that being said, going on to page 81, projective telepathy, post-cognition. These are the ideas from the pages before, and that leads us to the final destruction, the final solution. To be a Mason, you have to be in good standing in academia, consistent with the philosophies of the West, obviously, and the science and the theories. And we'll get into the wordplay of that, the theories, much later on in the later videos. So 82 to 83 talks about field equipment, communication, smuggler, scrambler, etc. They talk about bith, music, math. Okay, bit, right? They bit the obi, right? Math, mate, okay? May, do the math, has to do with the A, the M is the arc, the T is the plus, the H is the fence, the M is also for Mason, it's the 13th letter. All the M, the T, and the H may be removed in the wordplay. Okay, for those of you who are still confused about that, think in terms of the lexicon, morphology, right? Phonetic sounds, morph to change, transform, transparent, trans and parent, a parent. Okay. It talks about the Herglick, the Corellians, the human pilots, the Celestians, the different groups, the Hutts, and so on. I don't think this is so important, so let's skip over this. The force-wielding animals, the Vornskers, the Ysalamiri, okay, Aberro lizards that create bubbles on voids in the Force. The Vornskers, really you need to get this book. So part of the reason I think it's okay for me to discuss this and explore it is because there are key parts that you need to see the illustrations of to truly understand why I'm right about this, and you pretty much have to buy the book. I'm not a big fan of funding the enemy, and make no mistake, everyone really is my enemy. There are really no exceptions. Either you are in the divine order or you are adverse to it. There's nothing I can do about that other than try to convince people to come in the divine order. Okay, so these lizards, these Ysalamiri, and of course just like with Kung Fu, the styles, the forms of lightsabers are based on these animals, life forms. Okay, forms and life forms are connected. Tailzen, they interfere with the Jedi sense. Night Hunter, okay. Bektori, they use the Force to heal. Let me just go to page 90 real quick and make sure I have this correct. It's really a pain in the ass, all the notes. I have 21 pages of notes. I finished this just earlier today, I believe. I finished this book, and I've been, you know, so basically the Vorksker, you know, they're going to come into play later. Okay, this animal. There's a difference between this animal, which is like a hybrid between a dragon and a panther, which is their view, the checkered floor, the yin-yang, and the leopard and the hawk, which is my view. So they have a little bit of leopard, hawk. They put them in mediocre positions in many ways in the book, in their philosophy, and in reality, the ideal animal is not a mix between the dragon and the panther, but rather the leopard, the hawk, with certain ideas of the hair mixed in. Part of the disrespect that was dished toward Ra Haraketi is because Ra hair a kata. Ra, the leopard, hair, a cat a, right? The air, which is including the hawk, the falcon, the leopard, and the hair, all subtly in the word. So when they describe Ra Haraketi, they say he's dribbling from the mouth. In the book Egyptian Mythology, okay, which is the early perspective, the more relevant perspective of Masonry when it comes to Egyptian mythology and the greater game itself. That's why the pyramid on the $1 bill, the Eye of Horus, the Eye of Lucifer, the Eye of the Illuminati. There's a difference between Haru and Lucifer that seeks to replace the idea of Horus, which is the grace of God. He flies high. He's associated with the sun. See my other videos. This one's about Star Wars. Okay, I've definitively proven that Horus the Elder, not the son of Osiris the Younger, the pedophile toy, but truly the manning up, manhood initiations and everything that I discussed in that regard. Really, frankly, I'm sick of this, but I'm going to go ahead and go through it, So the Taosin interferes with the Jedi sense. The Bektori use force to heal. The Act Dogs, Jedi pets, the link with rudimentary telepathy. This has everything to do with voice to skull. Again, people are going to act like bitches. They're going to act like the government cannot send you messages with different frequency weapons or however the fuck those pussies do it. Okay, they're going to pretend like that doesn't exist. Obviously, it does. The military themselves have certain publications that not only show the patents for these things, they show their plans to make these things, commonly used in the military. It's stupid not to say it that way. So the Jackal beasts, the horns, they generate a telekinetic push. When they herd together, it creates a stronger wave. I'm being fumed right now, so it's hard to say these things. So the Jedi study aboard the Praxium ships. Okay. Now look at this shit. It's all really bullshit that I don't give a fuck about. It's how these bitches operate behind the scenes. This is like a cute little Western explanation in a popular movie for how these secret society bitches really operate behind the scenes, right? They use technology to mimic telepathy and pretend they're important. They use illusion. It's all garbage. And this is just a painful 160-page explanation where you have to read between the lines, apply Masonic wordplay to really get to the bottom of this. And the fact that they're called Jedi Knights should show you whose side they're on, right? The J is either the Y or the R. It's red eye, red, the principle of evil, okay? The color of Lower Egypt, okay? Red eye Knights. Lower Egypt is like humans acting like bitches, and Upper Egypt is the bottom half where they came to unite the land. It's the higher self, okay? It's like God's plan in reverse, and there's many ways you can look at it, why up is down and down is up, and frankly, I don't give a fucking shit, okay? Moving on. Studying aboard Praxium ships, okay, the layout of the ship basically represents their philosophy if you buy the book and give a fuck about it. Right, look at the right and the left wing, okay? The facilities, one's faculties, these things are connected, okay, these ideas. The right wing on page 94 has the gym and the meditation wing in the back, okay? In the back of the left wing has the training wing. The center libraries, okay, who gives a fuck about that? Let's skip over that. Let's go right to the Jedi Trials, because this is really the good stuff. Okay, you know what, I'm going to end right there and just go to the next video for the Jedi Trials. So this video in a way was a disappointment, but it also highlights what is kind of stupid and what is important. The martial arts philosophy and forms should be the center of your focus. Okay, all this, it's fucking bitch, who fucking cares what kind of weird alien animals they come up with. Get to the core of these things. The Jedi Trials, the 7 forms. There's 7 forms, not 6. The 7th form is perhaps the most significant, and how they try to play it off as demonic. I've overkilled why they're wrong in my past videos. If you just listen to my wordplay and listen to my videos, okay, and then read this book with the how to decode the wordplay in mind, especially when it comes to key words, like Jedi itself, trial, theories, and so on, okay, you'll understand what they're saying and why. It is basically a code book for pedophiles, right? Even the 24,000 year has to do with, you can look at it in 2400, go back 2400 years, okay? 2400 BC is important. Also 2400 years would bring us about 400 BC, 400, 500 BC are the key pederasty eras in Greek history. Key areas where pederasty became common and damn near enforced. Use the force, right? There's force sex. Okay, force them the various ways, coerce them, threaten them, okay, take advantage of their addictions. One way or another, you're forcing them to do it your way. That's why the color is blue and gray, neutral, right, with light gray, which favors the light side, the sun, and really the moon, right? The moon deity is sin, okay? Sin is the moon deity of Mesopotamia, Babylon, or whatever bitches used to do some bitch shit. Now also look at it in terms of empires. Babylon used to be part of the Egyptian Empire and vice versa. The Romans also controlled the Middle East and Egypt at one point, so did Greece. Look at the empires. Assyria, Babylon, these guys all incorporated this kind of general area around the Mediterranean in like a circle, which also has to do with the reproductive cycle. Which circle are you concerned with? The circle of the earth, the moon, or the sun? Okay, and of course, if you're on the earth side, you're by default on the moon side. Sin dominates the earth. Okay, people like me don't run the earth. You know, sick pedophiles that plug people in the butt in order to give them some place in a Hollywood movie, in order to make them a famous martial artist in a Hollywood movie. And think about it. Connect pedophilia with Hollywood, with the martial artists people have heard of, which are basically Hollywood stars, and connect it to the UFC where they're wearing kind of little thongs and kind of Speedo looking outfits and kind of different weird kind of acts and personas, and the show, the stage show. It's staged. The stage coach. They're coached by pedophiles. Look up the Olympic pedophile scandals, okay? It does not take a genius to connect Olympic martial arts with Olympic pedophilia and Hollywood martial artists and movies with Hollywood pedophiles. Okay, it's their pedophile Greco-Roman perspective, Talmudic baby sucking, foreskin sucking perspective versus the African perspective. They lean toward the Eastern Empire, which is the Babylonian Empire. Okay,